Attention, attention, all personnel.
All me. All me.
It came from MASH. That was weird. I heard that in like Hawkeye Pierce's voice.
That's also the night member for Christmas and Mayor goes to town saying,
Oh yeah. You know, hey Del. What movie were you in?
Jungle Cruise.
Nice.
2.5 months.
Really? Awesome. Where was this? Yep.
In Hawaii, on the island of Hawaii.
You want to be over here or over here?
Sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And it was, you can't imagine the
let her try.
lobster and
Without
the
it.
crab
It won't be on a hard
steak
surface,
and,
okay?
you know, the crabs
And the blue girls and the weather and yeah. I bet. Thank you for suffering through that for your craft.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yes. About the lights.
About what?
The lights. How many lights do you actually have that you have on?
We have a whole list of them here. I'm not sure
Is it
that,
like 72 or something like that?
looks like 76, but some of them have been turned off already.
And some of them are being paid for by residents.
I'm sorry,
And
what?
some of them are being paid for by residents.
Yes,
So it's actually less than that.
right.
So the ones you said just got turned off, they're not disconnected like some of the other ones.
We haven't turned them off yet.
Okay, but why would we turn them off? Why would we turn them off?
Well, that's what our discussion is going to be about.
Well,
Discuss it in the meeting.
But if we discuss it, we need to have some kind of an input, because that just causes more danger. You know, these roads are windy, you can't do it's getting darker sooner. You can't just be, turn the lights off and, no, that's someone's life.
We're not talking about turning them all off.
We haven't had that discussion, so I don't
So,
know.
Okay, so we're not gonna vote on it?
No,
No,
it
we're not
doesn't say
voting on
anything
it
about
tonight.
road. It says that we're
We're just going to discuss
it.
it. And it's actually the line expenses for the year. How much it's costing us per
So
year.
are we paying the $10 per light, is that what it is?
Some are 16.
Oh, wow.
16?
The $10 per light, that's an individual's, isn't it? I mean, like, I pay $10 a light for my own personal, like, extra light.
Right. And that's what we pay for some of these, and
Okay,
some of them
but some of them
are
aren't.
16.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom?
Only ones I recommend to leave on the entrances. So we coming off of 63 without where to turn in
Right,
at
right.
night.
No, those
At-
would stay.
At the state office, storage yard area and at the beach, at the marina. So your cameras can pick up anybody playing around with those. And the other ones we had in the past was low water vehicles.
Yeah.
So you can see how the vehicles going.
Well, that's why we're going to discuss them all and see which ones we can.
Yeah, those are the main ones.
Yeah.
Actually, the main
Anything
ones-
help us save money.
Yeah, there's a big curve, we have some places where there's pretty sharp curves up and down these roads.
Yeah.
Right,
And you
right.
didn't have a light, so people would be like, driving around yards and houses and that kind of stuff.
But you know, here again, though, let me just make this statement. When you're on the road, driving down the roads, there's no street lights. Like when you're driving into Mammoth Springs or
Oh, I don't know about
or
that.
to West Plains, and you're driving at night, there are no street lights there.
They have paint on the road though, we know it.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
know,
that
the
makes a
thing
big
is, you're right,
thing.
Marcia, like when you leave party, and you pass that First Valero station, there's 5 street lights once you get past there, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're driving at 60.
So we'll just discuss that during the meeting. So, anybody else have questions or? No?
Well, sure, why do we have the lights on at, I know why we have the lights on at beach and stuff, you know, in the shop, so that's for crime and, but the rest of us aren't important, as important, you know, that we don't have lights on. And
Well, no,
area of the dark.
we have to protect our property. And
We're valuable, we're our property. It's about our property.
Well, that's what we're gonna discuss,
Well, you have
so.
an option of getting your own light.
And nowadays, you can get some nice solar ones, it's not very, they don't cost much once you get them.
Yeah, yeah,
They stay on all night.
but, we'll see.
I noticed that it says, like last year, it was, $23,000 and something, whatever, was spent. And at, what was it? If the lights are at $10 a piece, that was $8,600 for the year. So what was that, 14,000 goes for the utilities?
Well, utilities are
Yes, that's what I'm asking, propane.
propane, the water, the, lights.
Okay, well, mine
So, I
for
mean-
lights, it's like over almost $15,000 on the other propane.
And then also, if the 833 money isn't there, we have to pay that electric bill also. So if they run out of 833 money, we have to pick up what they can't pay.
But at this point, we haven't though, right?
No, not at this point.
Okay, so.
I can't tell you what else was included in
Went to
that.
water and propane.
Well, I can't tell you that for certain because I don't have the paperwork in front of me. So I can't tell you what all went into that category, but I can look it up for the next meeting, okay?
Well, I have last year's.
Huh?
I have last year's, and that's kind of what I'm going, just a rough estimate.
Okay.
So that's 14,000, almost 15,000 in water and propane. That's a lot.
It's gonna be even more this year.
Right, and
And
propane.
then there's a leak over there
There's-
at the pavilion that the faucet's leaking.
Well, we turned off the water to the building and the washroom.
Right, I turned that off last week, so did you see it recently?
No, but I was over there working on the table, but there's a leak there, it should still be fixed, even though the water's been turned off. So
Well, yeah.
Well, I understand that, but did you let me know then, or can you let me know if somebody sees a leak somewhere or something wrong at someplace, can we kind of make that known before a SID meeting that's once a month? Because
If you know something's wrong, we'll let you know.
I didn't know that there was a leak at the pavilion until I walked over to the pavilion one afternoon and the water was running. And it wasn't a leak, someone had literally left the faucet on outside of the pavilion.
Is there somewhere where you guys have your numbers posted, or do we just call this it up?
My number is posted on the bottom of the sheet that's over there with my monthly report on it.
Oh, Lake City?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, there's a leak inside the shed too.
Inside the what?
Inside the shed too.
I told you.
So, if you remember our June meeting, I raised a concern about speed bumps.
Uh-huh.
I've tried to bring it to attention that they have not been put up yet. I've tried to bring it to attention about people speeding, and especially if I knew who they were. And I keep getting told to tell the sheriff's office, which is why I'm glad Ashton's here, so he can inform the SID commissioners. They
Well, we
can't-
don't have
Right, y'all
any
can't.
jurisdiction.
I get that, and they can't do anything. Ashton, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't do anything unless they're there. Even if I have them on video.
Right.
Exactly. My problem is, I've almost been hit 4 times backing out of my driveway, and it is the SID's job, because if y'all had put these speed bumps up, like agreed in June, we wouldn't be here.
We didn't
or I
tell
wouldn't.
them, we didn't tell you we would put them up right away.
Right,
We put
but y'all
one
put
up as
one
a
up.
test.
Right,
As a
and then
test.
Vagabond was next on the list, which I don't understand that, because the people complaining live at the end of the road. There's no way to speed there, because either you're gonna run a stop sign, or you're stopped on the highway to make a turn.
They
I
don't
have
stop on
children.
the highway. And your children, I've gotten reports, are in the
road.
street.
While I'm there, in the road, yes,
But
I
they-
stand
It
in
doesn't
front of
matter
the
if you're
road.
there or not, you have a yard. Your
You
children
should-
should
they
not
should
be
be
playing
playing
in the road. That's why you have property for your children to play in the yard.
Are you, which road are you going
I'm on Summit Ridge Lane, and Ashton, I don't know if you remember the last time that the sheriff's office was called out to my house over a speeder, where the guy got violent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we were gonna put them in, but they just got the signs in,
Right.
So, and I was gonna do it today, but we had, Monday, but I had something come up, I couldn't do it.
Oh,
Because I
sure.
rolled my generator and the hammer drill to put them in place, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it as soon as we can.
Well, it was brought to my attention Vagabond is next in my incident.
We're gonna do them both at the same day.
Just for the record, I've said it at his house several times.
And I might be able to
Have you
recall,
nailed anybody?
Just a few, not that many.
he might be able to recall the time that I've had to have the sheriff's office out there. It took him 30 minutes, which isn't y'all's fault. Y'all are coming from Highland and Ashflat. But because the guy decided to sit in my driveway threatening me. When all of this would be resolved, I mean, it's been since June. So we pay our, I know, I can't speak for everyone on their assessments being paid on time, but mine goes through my mortgage, so I mean, a $50 speed bump versus me going out and getting gravel
It's
and
not a
doing it myself.
$50 speed bump.
The one y'all are doing on Amazon, the one that's sitting up there, they've got them for 50.
Oh, no, they don't.
Okay.
I disagree with you on that, because I'm the one that ordered them and researched them.
Yeah, we're gonna do them, and just like I said, we're gonna do them
They're
Monday.
about $300 by the time you get all the bolts and all the things up.
We have a
Yes.
appointment, so
That's what I was
I'll
thinking.
get a hold of them, we can,
You
probably
can notice
tomorrow.
about, just about by your lunch today.
It was enough for two.
So, but as soon as we get them in,
So it was enough for 2 roads. They got,
You had that.
we only got one more set.
Oh, that's,
Which is
I thought
one
you said
road.
you had two.
Oh, I don't think so.
I thought you said you had
No.
two, and he was waiting on signs or something.
He probably said he got 2 speed bumps before, you know.
Okay.
So I guess my concern is, are y'all gonna get mine done first, or are y'all gonna try and do Vagabond?
We'll have to discuss it.
Okay, so just so it's aware to the commissioners, if mine isn't done this week, I will make one out of gravel myself until y'all do.
And we will remove it.
That's fine, because gravel's cheap.
Okay. But you need to keep your children on their bikes in the yard, not.
I try
off the
to,
street.
but anyone who has kids knows that it takes a split
No,
second.
anybody who has kids knows that if you tell your child that they don't go out of the yard, it's your
And they don't.
responsibility to keep them in your.
I'm sorry, do you deal with my road? No, I have cameras on my road. I can prove that once in a blue moon, my children are there while I'm in the road. If people would actually drive courteously, do the speed limit, instead of people that I'm not going to name that I have caught running into the ditch to avoid my truck while I'm backing up because they want to fly going 50 down that road. That's the point. And the SID had no problem saying anything up until it came down to the fact they don't want to face another lawsuit because of who it was.
Well, I don't
Okay.
That would be Lana's son that did it.
Then speed, the speed.
Sorry, Lana. I get you and Deb Lumley confused sometimes. I'm sorry. It's Deb Lumley's son that did it.
That speed bump almost slows them down for a little bit, I'll tell you that right now.
That's why everyone has to talk, and it'd be best to put it right between my house and Vince's, because then they have to slow down. Yeah, they're going to speed up afterwards, but it stops them in front of
This
mine.
guy's still doing 40 over that speed bump in front of my house.
Oh, I can't believe
they
that.
still
That would kill mine. I wouldn't do that.
I know you wouldn't.
My point is, I'm kind of confused at why it takes since June and only
I can
one
sit
set
there
of
on
speed
her
bumps.
chair.
Kyle, you have no idea how many things we have going on, that everything takes time. Everything takes time. We have one maintenance person, we don't have money in the budget, we don't have equipment to install it, we have to depend on other residents to allow us to use their equipment to help us install things. It's gonna take time.
And our
Keep your kids
budget,
out of the yard.
our budget is really small. So, and we're trying to cut back on our budget to help.
Even more.
And it's a good thing that the SID does this.
So, anything else?
Any other comments?
Questions?
See, they're going home anyway, so.
They're leaving.
So this was all unnecessary.
By the way, I'll be posting my video surveillance from my house to show the very few times that the kids end up in the road while I'm out there. Can't keep
That's
my eyes
fine.
on 24/7.
That's fine.
That's why I've got cameras.
Okay.
You use your cameras as your babysitter, that's your problem.
Okay.
That's up there, you should keep the kids up there.
Hi, Lana.
Hi, Lana. How are you?
Okay, anything else today? Yes.
As a new owner, I've been walking my small dog.
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, Jeannie Dykstra.
Hi.
On Summit Ridge Drive, South Summit Ridge Drive.
Okay.
And I keep my dogs leashed and I'm walking them, but my husband carries a big stick when we go because there's so many loose dogs in the neighborhood. I'm afraid of them attacking our dogs or us. And I was riding my bike one day, 2 blocks from my house, and they came running at me, and I turned around and got away before they got to me. Scared the crap out of me.
Where was that at?
That was up at the end, so if you take the road left to go to the spillway, you go to the next stop sign and turn left. I've never been able to get past that stop sign because those dogs come running. I don't know.
Susie, do you know who's,
That's going towards Juanita's place, so I don't go that way.
so what do the dogs look like? Do you know,
Me.
are they little dogs, big
Big
dogs?
dogs. I don't go that way anymore, just because I'm afraid.
Okay.
I don't think Juanita has any though.
No.
No, it's just going in that direction.
Yes,
so-
you go to the stop sign, you take a left, and that's where they came from, it's on the left.
You know who might be out that way, Ashton?
What color are they? And check out more of the neighborhood, Mark Strickland, Tammy Strickland.
That's even if it belongs to anyone. People dump dogs around here all the time.
Yeah, see, there's really
dogs that
nothing we
run.
can do about that, other than, you know what, if you're out, well, you don't want to stand around.
I might
to
take
take
a
a
car
picture.
by and find the address.
If you do happen to see if they're laying in the yard just chilling,
Yeah.
if you can
Take a picture of that address.
take a
Right down
picture,
the
just
address.
kind of see what kind of, which house, and we can see.
And by the way, welcome to our community.
I've got one that uses the corner of my house for his potty.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little lab that, she's very friendly, but she goes potty in our yard all the time.
Yeah.
We're always telling her, go home.
Well, this one
She
comes,
likes it.
Oh, she belongs to the lady across the street.
There's another one at Doug's house, and I will go upstairs, the one at Doug's house.
That's
So I
Tammy.
start going that way.
That's right. Well, he passed away, right? Yeah. But I don't know if that's, I don't know if they have dogs.
That's the way I go. I go back, I just do the little side, and walk, because
Yeah. Well, you know, just carry your stick. You know,
I would not hurt another animal, because I want to stay mine.
right, and that's just
If I
it.
can, I will.
That's why I have mine caged up. And let me tell you, when mine get out, I'm out there immediately looking for them. I mean, immediately. It doesn't take me but a minute to be out the door looking for them.
Mace is a very good deterrent too. You don't even have to hit them because they're so sensitive to the smell.
Where can I get some?
Just watch what
Wall.
you're doing.
What was that?
They have them at the checkouts at Walmart.
Yeah,
They're little like pepper sprays,
Okay.
just
Yeah,
little
you
cylinders
just,
and
you just
tiny.
gotta watch. Don't spray it into the wind.
Yeah, you don't want the backdraft.
make sure you're down, you're
Yeah, downwind.
downwind.
Yeah.
I done that the other day, right on the street right here. And it was going my way, and I didn't get back in the car. Hope nobody come out and see me.
See you balling? Crying?
That was a fire.
Well, I'm thinking about it, now that we have a little bit of people here. I understand there's a CPR class at the firehouse in Highland, is it?
Yes,
And it's $6 a person?
I think that's
And is
right.
that open to everybody in the public?
Yeah, but you need to call and get some, just get some names on the list.
Okay.
They'll have a list of their hours.
All right, so if anybody wants to
I
take.
know Josh works on Monday, there's a Josh that works on Monday, and he can give you all the information.
Okay.
So if we have anybody that wants to take a CPR class, they can contact the Highland Fire Department.
What's it? Is it?
A CP, pardon me?
What day is it?
I don't know.
I know it's a Saturday, but I don't remember what Saturday it is off the top of my head.
Usually it's about 8 hours.
Yeah, it's usually a whole day's work.
Well,
It's a
I
whole
don't think it
day's
was. I
worth
think it
of-
was from like 8 to 12.
And that's a mini one,
Yeah,
because
so,
the major ones last a long
yeah, I
time.
think it was from like 8 to 12. And I know it's not this Saturday, so it possibly, I'll get the information and I'll let everybody know. I'll give it to Susie at the office and you can just call and find out what it is.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Well, that's,
Would everybody like to start the meeting now? I'll take a vote from the people that are here.
Start with me.
you bet.
Okay. We'll start the meeting at 6:23.
624.
6:24. Okay, Gary, you want to do the opening prayer for us?
Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for what we have. We thank you for the temperature change that lets us know what's coming, what to get ready for. We thank you for this time for us to come together as a group and talk about what's best for our community. Be with us, be with those in charge, and help us make the decisions that are best for all of us. Always knowing that you are watching us and you are in our thoughts. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, commissioners present,
Lang,
Johnson. Jean is gone.
Or Jean. It's been a long day, but brain is hungry.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
okay.
At what time to adjourn the meeting? I'm sorry. No, she said she'll go. Say 7:15, she said.
Okay, 7:15. I make a motion to adjourn at 7:15.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Deputy report?
Okay, there was 32 calls from the last meeting to this meeting.
32?
Yes.
And that was
3 off
4
of
days.
Over suspicious return call, medical call, 911 pay up, my first check.
I can't hear you.
Suspicious activity. Can we give it to you? And then this is one from the county, just to kind of, so you can see what kind of calls the county did.
Okay, so you had domestic and,
Yes, that was very girl.
okay. All right. Yes, thank you, Ashton.
Actually, were any of these calls on young people?
Yes. Yes. And I had a talk with a couple young people riding
Parents?
motorcycles.
Oh, yes, those
And their
couple.
parents, yes.
Oh, good, good. I've
Yes.
taken away a lot of their toys. I've
Yeah.
removed all of the picnic tables from all of the parks. I've cut down the backstop of
Also got them to them for being on top of
the trailer.
the trailer house up there
Good.
and climbing the fence and hanging on the basketball goal.
Those are the same ones I probably saw sitting on the sewing machine.
Mhm.
That I yelled at to
Probably
get
was.
down.
Probably was.
I got to use my mom voice. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I ran them off from up there and I told them they all needed to go home before they tore something up and they all got started with criminal mischief.
And let them know that now they're guilty by association. When something goes wrong, they're the
And I
ones
told
we're
them
going
that,
to
I
come
said, you're
to.
all reliable. I mean, you're all liable.
Well, like I said, when something goes wrong and something happens, we're coming to them.
Yeah. And I didn't tell them that, and so I made them all disperse and go home.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Okay, we need to, did you guys get a chance to read over the minutes? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the minutes from September 20th as read? So we're into,
I make a motion to accept the minutes of September 20th as posted.
Is there a possibility on the break?
it just takes too long.
What you
Are
said?
we-
You gave me copies of it.
There are you have copies?
You have copies?
Yep, right in your hand.
They're in your hand.
I don't know, this is not my hand. This is-
They're up there on the table. Okay. Chris, made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Are they over there?
I know. They're over there. They're on the agenda, under the agenda. And for October 5th, we have a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, for the minutes of the 20th and the 25th, all in favor? Unanimous? Okay. New business is the discussion of the light expenses for the year. We have a lot of things that we need to cut back on. And the lights, the street lights are costing us approximately $13,000 a year. They're approximately $1,100 a month to pay for them.
It's a lot of power.
It's a lot of power. And I understand that we need lights in certain areas, but there are areas where we can more than likely turn them off. I've had the one by my house that sits in the corner. It's no longer there because the first time they went around and turned off lights, I said, I don't need that light. I didn't even like it there because I kind of like my little dark area. But then again, I'm mostly the only one there, except for the people next door, but they're not there all the time. I know the entrances are a big thing, that we do need them there. We need them at the marina to protect our property there. At the fire station. The fire station, I do believe, might pay for theirs already. I'm not positive, but I have to double check that, because I know there are some big things. And around the chauffeurs, like, I don't know, is there one down by your house, Brett?
Yeah, you can shut off.
No.
I've been slowing down.
No, we're not gonna shut that
I'd
one
rather
off.
not
Yeah.
hurt someone.
But, you know, I like the one out here, the parking lot here, we're gonna keep that on, and up by the office where the vehicles are. But, like I said, there are a few that we can turn off, and I think that if we could even cut it back by, say, $500. You know, we're gonna have to go out there and research it at night one night and see.
You know, even about something you don't want, that's very true, because what happened one time, a lot of street lamps were out, we went right at night and checked them. We got it fixed, people called it complaining that the light was shining in the window.
Yeah.
So there is something.
Well, yeah, I know that, and I, you know, like I said, I don't like one right across the street from me. I kind of prefer to have my,
So
yes, ma'am.
when you go researching at night, you're gonna have a list of what lights are yours. Because I pay for 2 different street lights and I
Well,
don't
yeah,
charge them.
I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna check them, and I'm gonna check your 2 off on
I have,
there,
well, I have 3 ones on this.
or 3, and Susie has also volunteered to take hers over. 2. 2 of them? 2, okay, well, I appreciate that, Susie. Yes, ma'am.
If there's SID lights, they will have a number on them. Private
Right.
lights, they don't have a number.
No, I have the list, so we'll go through and we'll check them.
And the volunteer fire department, they should have sensor lights, they're on 24/7, you know, all day, all night. And the sensor lights would really help, you know, with that.
At the fire department?
Yeah, they're
So,
always
yeah,
on.
yeah, they're on.
Yeah, 24 hours a day.
all the time.
Well, see, I've been by there, I don't know. I've never
Yeah.
seen it, so.
Yeah, I'd have to look at her house,
All the
but
time,
I think,
24/7.
Yeah, they are.
yeah.
So I guess, do you want to check those out, Lana?
He's supposed to be looking for one for the inside.
The outside zone too.
Well, there are lights that, you can get at Walmart, that are mostly sensitive when you walk in, they turn off. Yeah, because I've got those in my basement.
The inside and outside go stay on all the time.
Yes, Eric?
I just talked to Tom because his son fixed those lights at the fire department. He said they're burning the photo sensors back up. So I think they're all one photo sensor, so that's all has to be replaced.
Okay.
One photo.
Gary? You hear that? Did you hear that?
Photo sensor?
Yeah.
Heard it.
Okay. Is that something that Gary might look at?
The airport lights are tied into the lights on the fire station, the outside.
Right.
They're all tied, so it's one photo sensor in the back corner towards the tennis court that operates.
Well, thank you for that information.
Wait, that operates the helipad too, you said?
Yeah.
They don't need the lights during the day.
Right, okay. I was just kind of wondering why we would, yeah, okay.
So, any other discussions on the lights?
So basically, I think it would be helpful if anyone who is going to be watching this or looking at it later on, if you were willing to take over the payment of your own street light outside of your property at $10 a month, then we could remove those from our lists. And so I think we just need to be bold and say if any of the residents would be willing to do that, we would appreciate you letting us know that you would be willing to do that so that we can try to conserve money. So please don't hesitate to reach out to the CID office and leave us a message saying, hey, I'd be willing to pay my $10 a month for my own light.
As I understand it, if the city turns off the light, there's a $50 fee for them, the owner, to turn it back on.
Well, see, we wouldn't disconnect it.
Yeah, no, okay, but I was saying, if you transfer it to the owner, there's no fee from the power.
Right.
We ran across that.
That's why we were waiting.
Yeah, the transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you kind of make a decision which ones you think you need to turn off, you send a letter or something to the owners that live around it, because not everybody comes to the meeting. Some people live there all the time, just to see if they'd be willing to take it on or okay with that.
Well, we can stop by the houses once I get a list together of which ones. We can stop by the houses and knock on the doors or leave them a note in the door.
Because there's so many people that don't live here all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
And
We
they're
can-
never here.
Yeah.
For the ones like out of state, we can look at something of either emailing them
Yeah.
or sending them up a letter. Email would be preferred because
Doesn't cost.
postage.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else on that? No. All right.
I got one more question. Are you still gonna turn the lights off at the marina after the boats around the lake? We used to do that.
Well, I'm gonna check into that. I don't know that they're lowering the lake this year. I've gotta wait for the lake commissioner to let me know what they're gonna do. So then we'll decide, because we have to send out letters for the lake lowering if we're lowering the lake.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Surprise.
Yes,
Yeah, I know, I've found so many of them. I can't wait. I'm just like, I'm so excited. It's like an advent calendar.
Yeah.
So Marcia, they're gonna let us know before who's gonna get turned off on the lights?
Oh, yeah, you know, we didn't vote to turn them off tonight. We're not gonna go out tomorrow and turn them off or within the month. We just want to check out and see what we can do to save some money. So there's none being turned off within the next few weeks. So we'll notify people when we decide, like I said, you know, if I go out and I look at them at night with the help of somebody.
Oh, yeah. Big dog.
Yeah. And I find out which ones I think can be turned off. And I want to have somebody else with me to get their opinion too. And then during the day, I'll go to those houses and bring by those lights. Because I'm not going to knock on anybody's door at night. So, all right. Is that it? Okay. Now, the next is the financials. So the financial report for October 18th, the general account has $89,957.44. Money market account has $64,499.19. Volunteer fire department interest account has $500. At day 33 account has $9,686.32. Petty cash account balance for the fire department is $8,171.28. Special business account, which has the money for the repairs to the buildings that were damaged by hail, is $32,260.08. Volunteer fire department, I can't remember what it was called.
Impress?
No.
No, rescue plan.
Rescue plan, it was a money that they got from the county, that's got $60,000. Okay, and the office report, do I have an office report, Susie?
Yep. Towards the back. I don't need the last one.
Okay, office report. Still entering assessment receipts. We're not going to be getting too much money after November because it starts the new year. So we've got to live on what we have in the account after November to get us through until approximately April or May. We're still going through and helping with property owners' requests, emails, creating copies and deeds from flash drives, creating monthly maintenance reports, monthly office report. Susie is managing the office and I'm in the office most of the time to help with accounting duties. We are short-staffed, so I'm not going to hire another secretary because at this point we don't have the funds to do so. So I am working like a little part-time job. So
I got a question. It says print copies of deeds from county. Do they
Yeah.
send us the deeds because
what they
someone
do is
requested?
they do them on a stick,
Flash drive.
a flash drive. I call them sticks, but
Oh,
the
is it
flash
like
drives.
the new bought for the
And we
year?
have to go through all of the flash drives. We can get 7 of them at a time, and it takes at least 30 to 40 minutes to go through one flash drive and get all the information. We have to go through each one because it's not separated into Ozark Acres, Cherokee Village, Highland.
They mix them all
They
together.
mix them all in.
What?
Yeah.
So it takes us time to go through those and look at them and
And then we just print it, is it like the new deed, like new ones that are
new
printed?
deeds.
New
that
deeds that are
we
processed for
have
the year,
to-
okay.
So,
Gotcha.
but that takes a lot of time.
That's weird that they don't,
This comes
Yeah.
from the county?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would it take maybe a call to somebody at county?
They give those to
That's the way they do
everybody,
it.
that's the way they do
It
it.
doesn't matter.
For everybody.
Is there a particular phrase that is used on every one of them for Ozark Acres? Is there a,
Ooh, that would be a good idea.
you can do a search for a phrase and
No, because some of them go by parcel numbers, some of them go by lot and block, some of them go by, and no, they're not. Because
No.
you have to look at each one.
Right, because the
You have to open up
IDs,
each line on there.
okay, so there's nothing that's
No,
something
there's
that's
nothing that we can,
similar for every
Yeah,
one of them, is
no.
there?
So each one has its
I
own.
wondered, Cherokee Village had CB on every one of them or something.
Right.
yeah.
no, doesn't do that.
Well, that's the only way we can tell which ones are ours when we go looking through them. And then sometimes different places have the same additions names as we do.
Yeah,
So
Cherokee.
then we have to really check to make sure that we've got the right ones.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
By GPS,
No, by looking at the numbers, what the parcel number starts with, so, but, yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're like 4, 5.
We go 4 to 5, we've got 6, we've got a few of them.
Yeah.
So, up to 9. So, okay, and who's next? We got Clubhouse, Katie.
Surprise! I think there was one person that rented this one, right, Susie? One? I do want to look at the last 5 years to see how much it's been rented a month and everything like that. Because if we're going to have to cut the budget down, this may have to be one place that is winterized, especially just.
Well, no,
We think opposite, I think we need to figure out a way to rent this out to people outside of the community.
Oh, definitely,
or
definitely.
you can register rate of the,
Yeah, we have to check around.
so.
We'll have to check around to see if we're competitive with other around here.
I'm sure we are.
Well,
I think it's,
It's probably about 6 or 8 years.
is it? Because that's the thing, money coming in, money going out for our budget.
But see, we
that's-
also have to keep it open for meetings.
Don't we have access to other areas that we can use? Like, I mean, this isn't a
No.
lot of people. There's
But-
a water department building that's sitting empty.
No, I don't think there's enough room.
oh, I wouldn't want to be this close to all of you in that water department.
Oh,
I mean,
my
no
I'm just
offense.
looking at different ideas to, because we're gonna have to trim this budget, so
Yeah.
it's.
So,
You can always pad the budget in addition to trimming.
Yeah.
So we can talk about some ways to do that.
okay, Dee?
Oh, can I do all mine at once?
Okay.
Thank you.
Maintenance, Gina's not here.
I can read it though.
Okay.
Okay, maintenance report for October 2022 from Gene Murphy. Bush hogged by Old Water Department, airstrip, North Summit Bridge plus side roads, Timberwood Drive, East Parkwood, Shady Lane, mowed around Old Water Department, office, around Firehouse, Ball Court, Clubhouse and Park next to the Clubhouse, Sunset Park, Rocky Point Park, Leisure Park, corners at Deer Run and Frontier, Orchard and Frontier, corner on East Parkwood, and mowed around some other street corners. Weed eated the shop, office, beach, and street corners, removed a tree on Glen Oak Drive, worked on getting the backhoe going with the help of Brett Jarvis, replaced bad tire on the backhoe, installed a battery, picked up parts and worked on bush hog. Fixed leaks at the beach bathrooms, turned off the water at the beach bathrooms, let's be honest, okay? We didn't fix the leaks. Removed broken dock at the clubhouse, removed the barrel from the dam. He also removed a dead deer from the lake and 2 picnic tables from the lake. Put trash cans out at Firehouse and Clubhouse, checked trash at all the parks, removed trash, unloaded brush and weeds, burn pile, removed all brush and weeds from spillway areas as well, springs and burn pile. Put up speed bump signs and posts and put in speed bumps, also put up children at play sign on Timberwood. Is that the one that needs to be moved?
No, it was the one on Vagabond, not Vagabond,
Cleaned up the shop, organized the shop, and got all scrap metals from shop and cleaned up oil spills on the shop floor, filled several potholes and washouts all around the acres, including Springwood Drive, Springwood Circle, Indian Head, Eagle Pass, Medicine Lodge, Trail Lane, Homestead Circle, Magnolia Drive, and also dug out a large rock from the middle of the road on Buckskin Circle. Sorry, that's not funny. That was maintenance that was done in October so far.
okay, fire department.
We've had 2 applicants that have been approved, Abigail Quantz and Zachary Lehigh, I guess is the name. Ashton checked them out, they were paid. And this is Dylan's report. Fire department purchased hay for the hayride. We will be having a hayride for the kids on Halloween. We will also be handing out candy from the fire department. Where a ban has been lifted.
Oh, it has.
We are,
Be very curious,
asking that
anyone's
nobody's burning with the way the wind has been blowing.
Great.
Well, you still have your red flag there, right?
Yeah.
No, well, I don't think we're having any red flag days.
Sure,
We
Cody's
did.
not
But
posting
they'll
that.
announce it, but I mean, if you don't have a fire ban, you're not supposed to have a fire on a red flag day. They can have a red flag without a fire.
But
ban.
Sherb County's not calling today or yesterday a red flag day,
I'm just
even
saying
though
that's
it was a red
I
flag day.
understand, but I'm just saying
Well-
the county can issue a red flag day. if
We're
there's not
hoping
a fire ban.
everyone uses their
Common
judgment
sense.
and common sense to not burn on a very windy day.
Yeah. Okay, next is,
Next is me.
okay,
All right,
sit back.
yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna keep coming. Okay. All right, so I did have a written report out there, and I did want to say something really quick. I've gotten called out on social media posts for not talking about the roads. I'm not the road commissioner, okay? It doesn't mean I don't care about our roads. I care about our roads. But I can't do anything about them, and that's not my lane. I'm trying to stay in my lane, okay? So please understand, all of us commissioners, we all care about all of the acres, every part of them, but we each have an individual thing that we're supposed to be responsible for, okay? So I would hope that you would just support all of us in that instead of saying, oh, well, you don't care about the roads, you only care about the lake. Okay, that's not the case, all right? I will say this too. Roads are never going to bring money into this community. They will never be anything but an expense for us. They will cost us money to build, they will cost us money to maintain, okay? Whereas there are other parts of our community that could be down the road, not right now, but down the road, could make money for us, okay? So I don't want to lose the forest from the trees with, we can only look at maintaining and improving and doing better on roads, because there's a lot more to it than that. And I have found out a tremendous amount lately in some of the things that I've gotten involved in. I was given this, and it is a 12-page report of all the different agencies and commissions and everything in the state, county, and regional area. And I'll be honest, I have reached out to every single solitary email on this list. I've asked them, what can you do for us? What can you do for our community? Is it something that I can access or not? Okay, I've heard back from a lot of them. I haven't heard back from all of them. Some of them are strictly farming water things or soil conservation things, and so those people obviously aren't going to be able to help us. But I have made a lot of connections with a lot of different people already, okay? Our dam safety inspection was conducted on 10/11 on both spillways. The official report is not back yet, but I'll tell you a couple of things I learned from that. First of all, they don't do our inspections. What they do, the engineers from the Arkansas Natural Resource Commission come up here and they give us guidance and suggestions and make sure that our dam is visually safe. Okay? I walked with two of the top engineers in the state on their inspection, and I got, you need to keep track of that, that's going on over there. You need to check this valve. You need to look at this concrete. You need to make sure that this thing works, okay? They did not physically inspect anything. And I said to her, I said, I don't really know what I'm doing with all of this, and aren't you here to inspect it? And she said, no, we're here to do a safety inspection. They do not do maintenance inspections. They do safety inspections to point out suggestions for improvement and to give us guidance on areas of the dams and lakes that we need to watch. Okay? I specifically took someone else with me on that day, so I was not the only set of ears that heard that, just so everyone knows, all right? Now, saying that, she also was very helpful and said that there were a couple of things that she could tell me. Number one, she suggested that we make sure that we have liability insurance because we are a high hazard dam and we are always going to be a high hazard dam. I know that several times people have asked if we could get reclassified as an intermediate level dam, and that will never ever happen. There's two reasons for that. Our dam spillway, there are people in the way of our flood from our spillway. That could be loss of life. So that's the first criteria to be a high hazard dam. There is potential for loss of life from our dam. The second is the amount of damage that our dam breaching or breaking or flooding could cause. If it's less than $500,000, we could go down. But we're going to cause way more than $500,000 worth of damage. That's 3 houses. And if Vagabond breaks, we go all the way down to the wagon wheel and beyond on Route 63. Okay? If our dam breaks, fully breaks, we have 4 feet of water for 5 hours at the wagon wheel. That's a lot of water. Okay? It's going to cost us way more than $500,000. So liability insurance was brought up. I haven't even looked into it yet. Got a million other things going on. But I did want to let you guys know what the difference is between a high incidence and an intermediate incident. She did say that we do have some obvious problems with the dam already. We do have concrete on the spillway that's being undercut that needs to be repaired. She asked me for my emergency action plan, which is overdue by 5 years and will require an updated engineering inundation report before they will approve a new emergency action plan. That's required for us to maintain our permits for our dams. So there will be costs involved in getting an inundation report run. The last one that we used was from 1997. It's not acceptable for us to use that. She did also suggest that I reach out to Cherokee Village and Horseshoe Bend and some of the other communities in the area that have the same kind of dams that we have to see if possibly we could all go together to get an engineer to come out and run these reports for us at the same time. Kind of like a buy one, get one free or something like that. Again, I've reached out to the people that would give me the names of the right kind of engineers. Our dam is a little bit different than some of the others in the state because we are built on top of a karst topography. I'm only going to say that one time because I probably won't be able to get it out of my mouth again. That topography means that we have a lot of open space underneath our ground. We have caves, we have tunnels, we have sinkholes, and it has to be handled differently than just going in and filling a hole, all right? Right now, Spring Lake is losing water at 2 to 4 inches a day. We're dropping. And we know why. The sinkhole that we have repaired twice that just keeps kind of moving out farther into the lake bed is coming back. We've taped it off. There is a very large depression. I'm going to guesstimate 5 feet across, 3 feet deep right now. That is going to end up becoming another sinkhole. It's pulled all that 20 tons of gravel that Tim put in there is all submerging into that depression, and it's very visible to us. So we know it's there, but we don't want to do anything with it until we've had someone come out. In particular, in Spring Lake, we need someone to come out and look because we also have a cave that's erupting, I think that's not the right word, coming out of the ground on Frontier Road, which is one of our main roads into and out of the acres that we allow heavy traffic to go over, and we need to have that checked. We have a sinkhole next to the road. We have several culverts in that area that are damaged and not passing the water through correctly. And I think, honestly, that some of this is due to, because these weren't problems that we had when I came here. Oh, and we have 2 water leaks in that same general area that we have found. So, I truly believe that some of the recent some of the recent earthquakes that we've had, even though they may seem minor, not on top of a karst topography, they're not minor. Because all those rocks and all those things that have all those openings underneath the ground can shift very, very easily. So I do have a lady from the Regional Geological Survey coming out at the beginning of November. She'll be coming up from Little Rock. She is very interested and very concerned about all of these things kind of fitting into the same piece over in that particular area of the acres. Okay, so that's ongoing. I am currently participating in the Watershed Stewardship Program, and again, like I said, it's teaching me a lot of things. We know that in Lake Vagabond we have too many weeds, we don't have enough carp. People have been complaining about drawdown. Drawdown, just so everybody knows, drawdown does help us control weeds, but only if it's done correctly, and we've been doing it poorly. We've been doing it too early in the season and leaving it down for too long in the spring. It actually is giving our weeds a better chance to grow, because when we close it down too early and we have decent temperatures still, those weeds die back, become a mat of insulation over the root beds that you're trying to kill off, and then it takes much longer, colder temperatures for that to have the effect that we want it to have. Same thing in the spring, that dead material that is there is acting as an insulation as the plants start to be able to grow before they're underwater. They need to be underwater much earlier. So I have the county extension is coming out and Game and Fish are coming out. Again, beginning of November, just because October is the fiscal year end for everybody's reports. Nobody even wants to talk to me. Everyone's like, I'm writing up reports, I don't have time to do this right now. So once they've come out and they've looked at where we are, they will be able to give us a better idea of exactly the time frame of how we freeze out the most amount of weeds with the least amount of hassles for everything. And as soon as I find that out, I will be sure to share that with you guys. The community service workers were here. They finished the Spring Lake spillway today. They did a great job. I actually can see a pipe I've not been able to see in the 5 years that I've lived here. There is a pipe. And I'm very, very happy. They will be coming back to burn everything off when the weather permits them to do that. I did have a resident ask a question about sport stocking for fish in the spring. Spring's a long way away right now. I don't know if I have an answer for that, but I do have a suggestion for something else, and I'll share that in just a second. I have reached out to someone with the possibility of making Spring Lake a habitat preservation. Because we get very little, we don't get a lot of people on Spring Lake, and most of that is because you never know if there's going to be enough water for you to get in or not. But it's a prime preservation, wildlife preservation location because of the fact that there's hardly any houses on it. So I do have somebody looking into some more information about that. It could become a frog habitat. It could become a bird sanctuary. I don't know. It could be, if we can find something that's specialized, boy, we can run with that because there's always money available for that kind of stuff. It's one of the reasons I'm in that stewardship program. Once I've completed that and I have certified that I've gone through the classes with that, and that makes me as a steward of a watershed, which is this community, eligible to apply for things. Okay, apply for money, apply for grants, apply for programs, apply for help. All right, and we all know that we can all use help. So those are our lakes. Got a lot of things going on with them. I'm open to any questions, any comments, any things. Please don't hesitate to let me know if we have problems or situations, because I don't come over to this lake very often, and I know a lot of people don't come over to my lake very often. So I need open communication, please. The beach. The bathrooms have been locked up for the winter. The water's been turned off. The toilet in the men's bathroom is completely off the floor. It's no longer bolted to the floor. Someone has come in and cut the line to the urinal. So that plumbing in the men's bathroom is completely going to have to be redone in the spring. All the picnic tables from all of the parks, I had Dylan collect them all, and they are all underneath the pavilion right now on the beach. And we're pulling them in so that they are not exposed to the weather and the hoodlums who have been putting them into the lakes and turning them upside down. We have 3 that are broken right now that are at the SID office that we're going to try to attempt to repair them. The basketball hoop at one of the parks has had to be cut down because they broke it off and left a 2x4, jagged 2x4 sticking up. The swings have been broken and repaired and broken and repaired at least 3 times, and I've only been a commissioner for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, okay? So that's what's going on with our parks. I think a lot of it is we do have a little crew that's running, thinking that, you know, it's fun to do this kind of stuff. If you see them, please don't hesitate to call them out, okay? The parks that we have them all over the place. And one of the suggestions that I had at my community meeting was I would like to start an Adopt a Park program that we look for corporations, we look for businesses, we look for individual people. If you live next to a park, like how Della has been going and doing all of the work at the firehouse. She goes up there and waters those plants and takes care of that space. That's unfortunate that she lives that far away. It's unfortunate that we don't have people that are close to those kind of little pockets of areas that we have that would be willing to help and do that. So anybody that has one of those kind of spaces around them, I'm sure that we can work something out where you come at the beginning of the month in the summertime and you get your 2.5-gallon gas can filled up, and you can go and weed whack for us in your little area, and you can put a little sign up, you can put your family pictures up, whatever, however you want to do it, okay? So that's a program that I'd like to get started next spring. I think that our airstrip and the old water building are things that could be used to bring money into this community. We just have to figure out how to do that. Right now we have no businesses, no recognized businesses within Ozark Acres. We need to start recognizing the people that live in Ozark Acres that have businesses. We need to start supporting them, and then consequently they will then support us, okay, as a community, in my opinion, okay? But if you have a business that is in Ozark Acres, please reach out to me, because I would really like to work something out that we can do something like that to help you promote your business to our residents. That helps you and that helps us and helps our community all the way around, okay? The ditches, the culverts, and the waterways that are near your house, I can tell you right now, they have not been maintained for the longest time. If you have a culvert or a watershed that when it rains and you have water pouring through a culvert near your home, if you could please do us a favor, if you cannot do it yourself, if you could please call me, email me, and let me know where those are. Because again, that's something that's undermining our roads. It's undermining everything. It all works together. And we're not working on it together right now.
What are you asking us to do?
I'm asking if you have a waterway during a rain, either if you're able to go out and clear it, the leaves, if you're able to take the gravel that ends up in your ditch and put it back up onto the road, awesome. If you're not, if you could please let me know where those are located, I can possibly see if we can get something on a rotational basis, or I'll know where to go look after a big storm of where my problem points are going to be. Okay.
I do have a suggestion. Lana, is it possible that we can get the fire department to burn the ditches like they used to years ago? You know, just it can be like training, you know, they go in and they burn the ditches. I burn my ditches by my house. And I, you know, make sure that my ditches are always clear every time we can start. But if they can go and they can burn the ditches like they're by the vacant properties, that would be wonderful. That would be a big help. You know, just make sure that.
That would be a huge help.
And even have, and go as far as like full-on training, like have them all at home and have someone light it and they get, we call them.
Yeah.
Because it's not, well, it's not just, no houses, please, but you know what I mean? It gives them the whole setup, not just standing right there watching it burn, then
Right,
practicing
no,
on
you're
it.
right, you're right, I agree, I agree.
I'd like to disagree with what you said about cleaning dishes. We clean a lot of dishes when I was maintenance supervisor. All you gotta do is go in the office, read the reports. We install covers for people. People call, we when they clean covers.
Aaron, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that it has never been done before, but
Yeah.
the leaves fall down every year, and the trees fall down every year, and the water changes things every year. Every time it rains,
Every
new
time somebody-
stuff.
Every time somebody calls, we went into it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it's,
That's,
if there's nobody living on a road, no one's gonna call you and tell you that you need to come and do their ditch.
Right.
But when that ditch fills up with gravel because no one's called, and I know this because I live in an area that has all kinds of water coming into Spring Lake, and there's no one living past Tim's house anymore. All those people are not here right now. And so no one watches that. No one watches the drainage or anything, and so all that ends up coming down into that one culvert, which is now falling in on itself from the excess gravel that has gotten backed up in it, and the earthquakes, and the 5 inches of water at a time. I'm not saying that it hasn't been done. It needs to be done all the time, and we don't have maintenance to be
and
around all the
that's
time.
why I think the
And one other
fire
thing,
department would be a big help.
I like what you said about the lakes, except one thing, I don't know if you discussed it with them. I think the main reason the lakes, Lake Avon is lower is to prevent a major flood, one over the dam. I don't know too much about, the grass situation, but, the ratio of water coming to Lake Avon, I think is 20-something to like 2 or 3 going out. So if you have a huge rainstorm, the lake is up. If you ever let the water go over the dam, they'd wash the back of the dam, they wouldn't have a lake. And it's my understanding, one time it came to about 6 inches of water over the dam.
Okay,
In 2009, we had a 9-inch.
Yeah, that huge-
in
huge flood.
December. The lake was down 8 feet, and it came within 8 inches of topping the levee that night.
Okay.
If the lake is low at 4 feet
okay,
during the winter, it can handle that 9-inch rain.
okay, And
Martin Creek had 12 inches,
okay.
so we came close to losing it. And
That would suck so bad.
And something else too, the sheriff can tell you this, that he can tell you like, there's some people complain about our lake going down, going into Martin Creek. Well, they went out and researched it. One of the problems, Martin Creek has got all kinds of trees and stuff stopping it up over there. So those people's complaints were not justified because, and my understanding is the county's not going to go out there and clean it out. So there's a lot of stuff stopping up the water flow because there's a bridge somewhere where the water will go over the bridge. But the guy's house is up on the hill, so you have the water coming down the hill, you have the water coming out of our lake, and then you have the trees and stuff blowing over the water up.
It's pretty nasty. I looked at the floodplain map, it looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere near on this lake.
also, you put on your director office's house by the beach, and over here by the other side of the road at the clubhouse here. And we started at Rocky Point to have catch basins before the creek entered the lake to catch the gravel, and they need to be cleaned out
Okay,
every year.
I appreciate that. I was not aware of catch basins. There's so much. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys,
We
there's so much.
built 3 of them. It was working on it for us.
Thank you.
We was working at Sunset Park, but it's disputed where the property line's at. It looks like the catch basin has to be on private, half on private property
Okay.
to help keep the mud coming in down the hillside.
Okay. Just so you guys know, the karst topography, I forgot to tell you this part of it. Does anybody know about the Corvette Museum?
I went there after it happened.
After it fell in? Okay, the Corvette Museum was this huge building that they had
The Bowling Green, Kentucky.
many antique, special, super expensive Corvettes. And they were all in this huge building. And they decided that they wanted to expand it because it was doing so well as this Corvette Museum and bringing in all this money. And so they expanded it. And it was built on top of karst topography. And when they expanded it, they decided that what they needed to do was pour a concrete slab to build that addition on. That concrete slab, therefore, kept out all of the natural water movement that needed to go into that karst topography underneath that building. And the reason that it fell in was not because there was too much water, it was because there was not enough water. That system below dried up, and instead of being dirt that you could squeeze and things could grow in, it was dust. And so that entire Corvette Museum and all of those beautiful Corvettes dropped 30 feet into the ground in this huge sinkhole that opened up.
6 of them died. One
Yeah.
of them was the millionth Corvette off their line because it's in Bowling Green and they have the plant there. It was very.
So this is why I am hesitant to just fill our sinkhole in our lake again. Just kind of say, okay, let's do this again. I really want someone to be able to tell us why, where's it going, what's happening, before we try to make that adjustment.
Well, you know that water up by the firehouse, that's where that water goes? Somehow that worked its way down the ground again to the lake through Ozark.
Yay. Okay. I have a question for everybody. Why do we not have fishing on the beach? Why do we not allow fishing on
Because
the beach?
of the children and people eating fish hooks.
Yeah, if you snag them.
My grandson stepped on a fish hook in the pavilion. And actually.
Right, is there another place that we can have a fishing area? Because a lot of people are asking for a covered fishing area.
There's a fishing area right off this side of it.
On the side?
Yeah, the sign's laying on the ground.
Oh, maybe that's why I didn't see it.
But people can fish from the parks.
Yeah, and
They did
then
this one
also,
because the parks, you know, the parks, they weren't mowed. And I think that's why families did this one, picnic, the grass is so high. But like, there's a lot of places, parks you can fish. As a matter of fact, that Sunset Park at my house.
Right,
I mean,
it's that
there's
floating
actually a
dock
rock.
one. Yeah,
There's a rock there you can
love
fish
that idea. I love that idea, love that idea. I'd like to have one of those over there on that beach. I'd snag that one from your place.
Clint was saying he has some ideas for the Sunset Park for the big one of another cover.
Okay.
Because that would be another.
So, because that was another request that I had from a couple of residents. It was some place to fish. near the beach. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's really about all I have, except I have one other thing. And I know we don't have any money in the budget, so I am going to be having a 50-50 fish raffle. Anybody know how 50-50 raffles work? If you buy a raffle ticket, okay, the money goes in here. And at the end of it, half the money, whoever wins, the one that's drawn out, they get half the money. The other half the money goes toward whatever you're raising money for. So I'd like to raise money for stocking grass carp in our lake this year. Okay? No, this year.
Because they have to go in November.
I want to put them in end of November, beginning of December if I can get this
We
together.
can't put them in when they, how they
So-
want to so it's not good.
Oh, okay.
We will have raffle tickets available. If anyone would like to sell raffle tickets, I would be happy to give my Venmo and my PayPal right here, that you can go ahead and order raffle tickets for stocking fish. And that way I don't have to ask the city for money, which, by the way, I haven't asked for a penny for any of the things that we've been doing.
What's the going price for carp?
Going price for carp right now is from the people that we bought them from last time, who I feel was a little bit high, but they're who we've worked with. They're asking $9.50 for 6-inch to 11-inch grass carp. $9.50 a piece.
Who do we use right now?
Arkansas Pond Stockers is the last company that we dealt with. They are, just so you know, they are not one of the ones on the recommended list from the county extension office. But because they were the people that we had dealt with, I called them first and asked them for their price point. And that's what I got, was $9.50.
I know there's
They did say
That's
that
all the others is.
if I order more than, like 200, if I can get 200, I can get a discount and they will deliver them because you can't carry that many in your car.
Are you gonna make sure that there's boys and girls so they can make more?
No, they can't, no, they do not make more. They absolutely cannot make more. They are sterile. They are sterile grass carp. They cannot reproduce.
We can't have an active reproduction.
Right, that's the only kind of grass carp you can stock in the state of Arkansas is what's called a triploid sterile white grass carp.
Did you cross them from other places?
I haven't gotten that far.
I don't know. I mean, when I moved here, that's, they must have been using them forever.
Yeah.
Because I know one time before I was commissioner, one commissioner bought, I think it was 999 catfish, and they brought them out with them, the thing was, you had to spend $2,000.
Well, when I get with Cody, our county extension, he's the one who gave me the list of the ones that he would recommend for our lakes, and Pond Stockers was not on it. And the reason I called them was because we had used them. So I do have a list of other people. I was going to kind of wait until Cody had come out and given me a ballpark figure of how many he thought would be appropriate. Arkansas Pond Stockers is telling me I need 924. That's exactly what they told me, 924. At $9.50 a piece, and they'll be happy to bring it to
If the
you.
whole lake was covered in grass, but our whole lake is not covered
I
in
know.
grass.
I'm just telling you what they said.
Okay, there's 100 grass carp.
That was in last year. Correct, I understand that. I did see that paperwork. Thank you for bringing that up.
If you put in too many carp, you will eat any grass that we need to cover,
That's
to cover the wee little ones, to give them a nursery on the edges of the lake.
Right, which is exactly why I want my county extension office guy to come out
And he
here
can tell you.
and tell me, how many do you think we need? Because I don't know, so I'm
Cody's good.
totally want to make sure I get the right thing.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank goodness, I'm hot.
You guys just focus on.
Hey, if anyone, for their orders,
I'm in the middle of a problem. Because it would be, she would enjoy some of the pretty crystals and some of the cool stuff.